but it burned. Coal required more than gathering. It required industry, capital, and technology. Coal required businessmen. A corrupt, extortionist 14th-century cartel soon emerged. Their secretive order, known as the Hostmen of Newcastle, established dominion over the Black Rock, feigning shortages and forcing compliance with their economic ultimatums. In the process, London's skies turned black, as did the skies above other cities. Lost to history, but bequeathing their manipulative ways to succeeding generations of energy moguls, the Hostmen ruled in one way or another until about the 18th century. All technology eventually subsumes itself. Eventually, King Coal gave birth to the steam engine, which gave rise to the Industrial Revolution. As part of that technological coup, the steam-powered railroads, born of coal and powered by coal, opened the territories of all modern nations. Railroads became national power, no matter whose land they traversed. At their helm were robber barons who would have made the Hostmen envious. The fast industrializing outposts of civilization scattered across great distances were made possible by trains. This growth gave rise to the need for commercial electricity. But those who used electricity craved wireless power, ability to store electricity and use it far from the center of generation. Behold, the world needed a storage battery, the most revolutionary power concept since fire. Today, the idea is simple and small enough to balance on a fingertip. But in the decades after the American Civil War, the box of electricity was the sensational stuff of legendary false advertising, great stock manipulation, calculated corporate deceit, commercial looting, technology fraud, and epic, destructive patent litigation that suppressed the real scientific advances in favor of instant profits. In the process, the corruption subdued society's desire to energize simply, cleanly, and inexpensively. At the same time, the simple bicycle revolution allowed men to move about without a horse. Here, too, a rapacious monopoly ruled, the bicycle cartel of Hartford, Connecticut. As bicycles were fading, automobiles were rising. Most cars were propelled by storage batteries, but a few operated off a controversial controlled explosion called internal combustion. Internal combustion was the nemesis of societal betterment. Petroleum exhaust spewed sickness, fire, and pollution everywhere in its wake. Gasoline cars spread their soot everywhere they found a path or a road. The spread of these noisy machines was called progress. It was misportrayed as desirable by those who opposed electric. At the turn of the 20th century, automobile makers formed their own emerging cartel and then joined forces with the receding bicycle cartel to form a new supercartel of gasoline-burning cars. The enemy was anyone or any company that did not pay tribute. A century before I began typing this page, battery-powered electric automobiles were abundant. They were planned to recharge and refill quickly and cleanly at the electrical equivalent of gas stations and also at curbside charging poles. Eventually, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford planned to make them universal in a forgotten project that briefly took the country by storm, but then faded. That effort, swallowed by history, was undermined in favor of internal combustion machines. What's more, modern, gadget-filled, energy self-sufficient homes were constructed almost a century before I began typing this page. The idea, also crafted by Edison, would have eliminated central utilities operated by Wall Street connivers and manipulators in favor of compact generators in basements or backyards, eventually connected to small windmills. These tiny units were to power the smallest and most remote residents, as well as great urban factories. That effort, too, was swept away in the forgotten struggle over Edison's war against internal combustion. The evolved dependence on oil hinged on a supply always known to be diminishing. In 1919,